Hey everyone. I've been asked by my mob to start a Treaty Council podcast YouTube channel to talk about what mob are doing inside the movement to take back clan lands of Indigenous people in what is colonially known as Australia, but decolonialised, known as the Great Southern Land. So, yeah, I'm not a professional at podcasts, but I've got a mouth and I've been asked to use it, to be vocal, and to use it to support people to look at ways that they can take back their clan lands as well. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Elizabeth Waimara. So my mob are from Gurang Yarakara tribe, Waimara clan, up in the Northern Peninsula area. Our clan lands are Otingu, and we are in the process of redeveloping our clan lands to invigorate our own sovereign Indigenous economy. For those of you who don't know, Indigenous people here are still the rightful owners of the continent because there is no treaty in place with the Australian government. And although Australia is operating illegally here, Indigenous people are not Australian because we've never ever surrendered our land to the Australian government or the colonisers when they came here. Their operation in this country is one of white supremacy. Their colonial systems are set up to destroy the Indigenous people, and we are every day fighting for our lives to survive in this system that we are in against our wills. So we are political prisoners in a sense in our own country. But because we've never surrendered our lands, we are still sovereign people, which means we are the rightful powers on this continent. And because of that, we have the right to take back our clan lands and operate as the allodial landowners that we are. If you want to Google allodial, do so, but basically it means ours before the crown. So the land is ours before the crown, and the colonial mob come here to take over our lands. In saying that, I also work for the Treaty Council, and the Treaty Council supports mob to take back their clan lands and start their own economies with the help of people who want to support the advancement of Indigenous wealth. At the moment, the policies that are created by the Australian government are policies to induce genocidal poverty for Indigenous people. So we have millions of acres of land, but we're not allowed, under the colonial system here, we're not allowed to profit from it, sell it, or run businesses from it. And the way the government does that is by locking Indigenous people in to something called native title. So the Native Title Act says basically that, we're going to recognise you as traditional owners of the land, and in return you're going to agree, according to this native title contract, that you will not profit from your land, sell your land, or operate businesses on your land without the permission of the local Aboriginal Land Council in partnership with the state of which your clan land is in. So in our case, we're in Cape York. So our Aboriginal Land Council is the Cape York Land Council, and the government we're dealing with is the Queensland government. So any Aboriginal lands that have native title claims over them, or native title law over those lands, basically the Indigenous people are still in poverty. But because we don't have a treaty, we don't really have to honour the contract of native title. So because we don't have a treaty and we're still sovereign, our sovereign power extinguishes Australian law. So if native title is in Australian law or state law, our sovereignty extinguishes that, which means we can take our clan lands back under the allodial title arrangement. So remembering that if you own the land allodially, your title is recognised before colonisation. Okay, so the fact is, Indigenous people here, they're actually allodial landowners. They're not traditional landowners. So we are not traditional owners of our country. We are allodial owners of our country. So the Treaty Council is all about supporting the movement to take back clan lands. So that's where we sit within the sovereignty movement. We believe that Indigenous people have a right to start their own economy. They have a right to make economic treaties with whoever they want, and they have a right to live autonomously on their clan lands. That doesn't mean non-Indigenous people can't live there. It just means that Indigenous people are the new sheriffs in town, and so everything gets supported for everybody living on country through a local tribal governing council system. In our case, we have the Gurang Yarakara Tribal Governing Council, and so they support our people on the ground to exercise their allodial rights if they so choose. There might be mob that don't want it. There might be mob that are happy to stay inside the native title system, and that's their choice. But also there are people that are making the choice to be allodial and exercise their allodial power. So our mob are exercising our allodial power to work with the Gurang Yarakara Tribal Governing Council in order to build up our economic wealth for our mob on our clan lands known as Otingu. So Otingu is the clan lands of our people, one of the clan lands of our people, and the Gurang Yarakara Tribal Governing Council supports us to create avenues of income and live autonomously on our clan lands. And so we're doing that under our sovereign right to do so, and under our international rights to exercise autonomously on our land. And it doesn't mean we're against anyone else. It just means, you know what, this is what we're doing. The state government is welcome to come along and support us if they want. We're not against anybody supporting us, but we're saying if you don't want to support us, just step aside, get out of our way, because we're just going to be doing what we're doing. So yeah, that's basically us working with the Treaty Council. We have supporters at the Treaty Council that are working in certain areas of finance and the legal system and stuff. So we have a lot of supporters that are using their skill sets to support our autonomous movement with enriching our economies on our clan lands. And to find out more, you can check out our website, www.treaty_council.com. Check us out there. You can check out our Gurang Yadakara Tribal Governing Council website as well. Just Google it, it'll come up. But I'll try and put some information under this little Gammon YouTube podcast I'm trying to put out right now. And yeah, I believe that if Indigenous people want to take back their clan lands, they should be allowed to do so. And like I said, there's no treaty in place with any of the states, with any of the local councils, with any of the national bodies or anything. So as long as Indigenous people have no treaty, we are still sovereign here. So there are a lot of us that are exercising our electoral rights to start our own economy on our clan lands within our tribal nations. And we welcome people to support us, walk with us, but we also respect people's right not to. So, we're about being inclusive. We want to be inclusive, and we're not stopping anyone from, walking this journey with us, but if people don't want to, that's fine too, whether you're Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander or non-Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander, non-Indigenous, whatever, you also have a right not to support us. But that's what we're doing, and there's a lot of mobs jumping on and doing the same thing we're doing, and we're just doing it, easy does it, nice and slow, and we're getting there. So yeah, but I've been asked by members of our clan in our nation to start this Treaty Council podcast to keep you mob up to date with what's happening in Indigenous Australia, which we refer to as the Great Southern Land, because Indigenous people were here before Australia was even invented. And maybe to put it another way, Australia sits on top of the Indigenous lands that we're on. So we don't really recognise Australia. We are a tribal and clan-based culture. So we recognise people through their clan and kinship relationships to land. So we don't really see the Australian government as landowners, because we are the landowners. And until there's a treaty, we are going to be doing what we're doing. And like I said, we welcome people to walk with us, and we also welcome people to stay out of our way. People have free choice, so yeah, that's where we're at. So yeah, hopefully I'll get better at doing this podcast stuff, but yeah, in the meantime, I hope that was enough info for you fellas. This is my first time doing this type of stuff for Treaty Council. But yeah, we encourage you to reach out to us. If you want to have a yarn or whatever, you can check out our Treaty Council Facebook page. And yeah, hopefully people can reach out to us on this channel as well. You can check out our Gurang Yadakara Tribal Governing Council support page, which is called Gurang Yadakara and Friends Cape Crusaders on Facebook. So that's our deadly little Facebook page we got. And yeah, if you want to support us, feel free to donate to our Gurang Yadakara Tribal Governing Council and support us. We're an NGO. And yeah, you can support us through that, or just, reach out to us. Anyways, if there's any questions and that you want me to answer in my next chapter of podcasting on the Treaty Council YouTube channel, let me know, and I'll go through the questions and answer them in the next podcast. I don't know how many of these I'll do per week or whatever, depending on how busy I am in the Black Resistance here in the Great Southern Land. But we are in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. We're in solidarity with stopping black deaths in custody. We're in solidarity with our Stolen Generation mob. And we're in solidarity of black women's voices being heard and amplified. So yeah, we are part of the Black Resistance movement in the Great Southern Land. And as far as we're concerned, our sovereignty has never been ceded. There is no treaty. And in saying that, we are exercising our right, our human right as allodial landowners to create our own economic wealth and our own decolonised systems of sustainability on our own clan lands, with or without the help of the government. We are just going ahead and doing it, but we invite people to come along on the journey and support us and be part of the movement. We're not saying no to anybody, but we're just saying, listen, this is what we're doing. And until a treaty happens, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. So anyways, that's me, Elizabeth Weimara, signing out. I suppose you'll get to know me a little bit better as we go on. I'll try and answer people's questions and whatever, do some interviews, get some interviews with people who support the Treaty Council, who support the movement into living autonomously on country, and maybe talk to some other nations that are also part of this treaty movement, economic treaty movement on country. Feel free to message or comment below and ask me questions, whatever. I'm really not going to pay any attention to anyone who wants to be racist or, unhelpful or discriminatory. So, there's plenty of other platforms like your own that you can talk about all that stuff with, but I'm just here to let you mob know that the Treaty Council is here to support all mobs who want to exercise Indigenous economy their way on their clan lands. And that means also talking to you about monetising your land and building your own wealth. Because at the moment, Indigenous people here, through policy, through the government policy, we're experiencing policy-driven genocidal poverty. The only way out of that we can see from where we come from in the Cape is to exercise our autonomous power through being allodial landowners on our own land. So we're in the process of doing a lot of things up in the Cape, and we'll keep you updated on this YouTube channel. And anyone wants to, reach out and get interviewed or whatever, or be part of the movement, happy to chuck yous on, and you can jump on here with me and we can have a yarn about it or whatever. In the meantime, follow our Treaty Council Facebook page, our Cape Crusaders, Gurang Yadakata and Friends Facebook page. Check us out on Google. You can follow me under my own social media at Willow Girl on Twitter, on Instagram. You can do that as well. I'm across many platforms, but at the moment I've been asked by my mob to do this Treaty Council YouTube podcast thingy on this channel, so that's what I'll be doing. Hope you support, and I just want to say two things in closing. Our sovereignty has never been ceded, and our Black Lives Matter.